Okay, we are getting set up. Put you guys back here just for now. There's Lena. Horse. I'm going to trim her feet, at least the front one. Because I'm a little bit behind on them, probably about a week. But I do 3-week trims, so it's not that far. In general. So, trim her up though. Getting late. I don't want to tow any later. I've got her on a halter. I don't have her tied because I just don't want to have to wander off and drag the camera or waste anybody's time. So she's just looped onto there. It's not tied up or nothing. It's just good. Okay, so let's see. To start with, let's talk about prep. Actually, if you guys are ever thinking about, hello, Lena, ever thinking about getting the hoof trimming or trimming your own horse, you want to make sure that they're comfortable and not running around or wanting to be somewhere else. And he's getting moved around by a roadie, so everybody's paying attention to that. There was a little bear yesterday, just a little guy, that was getting the horses a bit worked up. And he's just hanging around. I went to go to the back and saw him there, and I stopped and looked at him. He looked at me, and we both kind of went on with our days. So hopefully that's a good thing. Okay, so prep with a horse is it's nice if they're nice and calm, comfortable. Personal preference in a way, I try not to confine a horse too much. This is about the maximum I would hope to confine a horse, is literally a halter on just so they're easier to catch, looped over a wall or something. If they wanted to leave, they can walk around a little bit. Sometimes it can be pretty pesky to have some human hanging off of you trying to fix you up. You know, poor horses, right? I think I need new gloves. These gloves have almost had it. Almost had it. So making sure she's good. And the next thing, because it's still summertime, a little bit of fly spray can go a long ways. You'll be trimming or lifting feet or something like that, or even if you're just cleaning their feet. See, she's already stamping a little bit, and here, I'll show you on her legs. And we'll see if the flies come around again, but horses will stamp their feet. Stomp, stomp, stompy, stomp. And a little bit of fly spray can go a long ways for that. So she's got one on her leg now. Oh, stamp, you know, sort of thing. And she'll want to walk off and stuff. So I'm just going to give her a quick spray. Fly spray is a funny thing. Some horses care, some don't. Lena's sort of halfway. You can approach them like that, or you can approach them, you know, like that. So I'm going to approach her a little bit like this, pet her a little bit, and then spray her a little bit, sort of thing. So it's not a, make sure to get the legs. Sure. You can spray the tail too. When they switch their tail around, it sends that smell. And the belly, a favorite spot for flies. And that's fly spray for now. So that's going to help us out when it comes to trimming her up, because she won't be so antsy and want to move around. She's just hanging out watching. It's a good horse. Gave her a trim the day after she got here. She needed it. pasture girl. So, okay, so trimming. First thing that we got to do is we got to clean the feet out. And today I'm actually going to use a new rasp, and I'll show you guys what why. Lena's feet are huge. Well, huge. They're big. They're bigger than a lot of horses that I own, for that matter. And it just goes faster. I'm looking to go a little bit faster. So every rasp has this guide. I don't know if it's going to go into focus. Focus up, camera. Come on. It's backwards anyways. Anyways, I'll explain it because it's not going to focus. Why is it going to focus in? Too close? Not too close. It just won't focus. I'm going to just mess around for a second here, see if it... Nope, won't focus. Okay. So anyways, so essentially it says this is the coarse side of the scale. And this is the... Wait a second. Extreme cut, coarse, and aggressive. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm right. And coarse, intermediate, and smooth. So one side of the rasp is the rasp, and the other side is the file. So every rasp has a rough side and a smooth side. Okay. So every container, every package has this deal here. So this particular rasp is the least amount of aggressive, but the middle amount of fine, which is great. I don't want this extreme cut stuff. It's the teeth. You can see the teeth here. They'd be really deep. I don't want that. It's too much for me. It's not how I trim or how I want to trim. So it's, and the other thing about this rasp compared to my old one is it's a little bit bigger. You can see there, a little wider. Same length though, I think. Take the package off. Yeah, length is the same. You guys can see that. Okay, so I'm going to use this new rasp because Lena's feet are big. The handles on these things, they just pop off. Sometimes they're a little tighter than that, and then, oh, that one's really loose. So when the handle is too loose, because they get a little bit worn out after a little bit of use or so, they sort of stretch on the inside, and that's where this bit goes inside the handle. So what I do is I just take a bit of duct tape and I just wrap one or two wraps around like that, and it just provides just that little bit of thickness that keeps the handle on a little better. And then now it's solid on there, but not too solid that I can't get it off. So yeah, so it's the difference. It's quite a bit smaller. Another way to show that is maybe like that, so you can see that's backwards, like that. Yeah, anyways, so bigger rasp, sharp because it's brand new. This one's seen some summer use, so the teeth will also fill up with things, so you can... Anyways, I guess we won't get into rasps too much. Forget it. Okay, so we're gonna use a new rasp. Yay! I put my gloves somewhere. There it is. Wear gloves when you're using rasps, because they're sharp and they can easily cut you. So always wear gloves. Same with your knives and stuff. All right. Any questions so far? I don't know if my gloves are going to work. Of course they're not. Great. You need an assistance? Live chat. Like a rasp for wood but larger? Yes, it is. Like a nail file. Yeah. Hi, Carrie, Sue, Martine, Luthien, 0902. It got better. Video got better. Quality isn't good. Bad video. Oh. Quality's grainy. Sorry. Shelpin. Chivone Pedro. Okay, so hopefully the quality's a bit better and stays better. If I don't move around too much, it'll probably be just fine. The internet's not that far away. Okay, let's get started on a trim, or at least a cleanup. So I'll bring you guys over this way. Maybe right there. Something like that. And I'll go down to Lena's feet. So I'll be down here as well. And what did I do? Got my hoof pick. As for hoof picks, simple. I really like these ones. There's other ones that have a piece of weak metal. These ones are very strong, very strong. Sometimes you gotta put some pressure in them. Okay, actually, before we get into trimming, what am I doing? Let's take a look at Lena's feet real fast. And to make this easier for me, I'm going to switch cameras. Yeah, the snapping sound is the electric fence. I can't believe you can hear that. There's a slightly loose wire and where is it? Right here. Oh. So it snaps, it arcs. There's a little arc, so it's a little piece of lighting. Sorry about that. Hopefully it won't be such a... What is it, Lena? What? Can I please look at your feet? Thank you. All right. Sorry if the quality's going bad while we move around too much. Okay, so when we look at her feet, let me see. I'm going to put the camera... Lena, don't knock over the camera. It's right in front of you. Right in front of her. So I'll see if I can keep an eye on her. What I can see when I look on the outside is I can see she's wearing off right here. This is long and this is long. Back. Of course she's going to move around. And same with here. This is wearing out. I'd like the wear point to be more in the middle, but it's just barely off to the side. And we can see here she's wearing here, and this is quite long. This is very long. And this is a little bit more worn properly. So she wears the outside of her fronts more than she wears the inside. So we'll probably see an imbalance in length when we lift the foot up on the inside compared to the outside. And she's got actually a decent roll here. I don't know how I'm going to show you that. I don't think I can. Okay, anyhow. Oh, and on a side note, in case you guys are wondering where I am lately, on the internet, I've my subscription to my video editing software has expired. So while I have video, it's hard for me to edit in a different program, even though I can use another program. So I'm just waiting for my membership to be renewed, which should happen hopefully on Monday or so. So live streams it is. Okay, let's get on with these feet. All right, let's move over here a bit. Now I'm not going to spend too much time on cleaning feet. Come on, Lena. Good girl. All right, so big mess. Whoop, stay with me. So I clean feet like this. Just peel out garbage, and you can scrape away at the bottom of a hoof if it's healthy. Pretty good. You guys can see that. And you can even go upwards, just, you know, be careful overall. Just scrape away. Now you're seeing a bunch of white stuff come off. That's actually old sole. And the reason there's old sole there is because for quite some time she's been hoarding dirt and stuff like that inside of her hoof, which is fine. Okay, last spot I'll get here is in the middle. And just keep scraping away. She's shuffling a little, so I'm going to give her a foot back in a second. Give that a clean. Like so. Just like that. All clean. Now, it's time to trim. And seeing how she's moving this way a little. Okay, the first thing I trim is the frog and the bars, because if I take the walls down with the bars and the frog too long, they become uncomfortable, naturally so. Alright, so I've got these little set of nippers, very handy. They're convex on the outside, like so. So I could just come along, snip off that extra bar she's got going on. Something like that. Same to the other side. You might be saying to yourself, how do you know how much to take off? I always worry. You say, well, we want to look at where the sole is. Where the, you know, if you would stop walking around, it would be nicer. I'm just going to shift her back to the middle here. Okay, move your butt over. More. Don't walk off of the front, just the butt. That'll do. Stay there. Okay. So sometimes you gotta shuffle your horses around a bit. We've got a few flies here. I might spray her one more time. There. Keep your fly spray handy in the summertime. Okay. Come on, pick up your foot. Good girl. Okay, so now I want to define the bar a little bit more here, or where it should go more precisely. Because all this white chalky stuff that you see sort of flicking out, I don't know if you guys can see that. Hopefully you can. All this white chalky stuff is just old sole. You do not have to clean it all up. I'm really just doing it because I need to know where to get out of here, flies. Trim everything down to. So here we go. Now when you do this, you're going to see these little cracks sort of show up. There, I don't know if this is going to work. Ah, don't move. See these little cracks in here? You don't have to clean them all out. They're just sort of indicators of where there's separation between layers. Okay, Lena, there's your foot. So. Let's keep going. A lot of flies right now. More flies than when I started. What a pain. So, I'm just going to clean out those bars just a little bit because there's a lot of buildup. And we want to find out, mostly, we want to find out where the true sole is. And we can get close enough to it that I don't have to get rid of all of the exfoliated stuff. And then mixed up is the frog. Which never goes well with a knife. Come here, Lena. A little forward, please. Thank you. Otherwise, you guys won't be able to see anymore. Come on. Good girl. All right. Let's see. See, I always have to shuffle around the camera. Okay, so I'm going to get off some of her frog because it's dead. She's sniffing. Okay. You know, knock it off. You're going to be in big trouble in a minute. So the frog we can tell is old because it's sort of this chalky, stupid camera. It's a chalky sort of old looking thing. White and doesn't belong there. Lena, if you want to lean on my leg a little, you can. That's why it's there. Good way to break your leg, probably. Do as I say, not as I do. Don't do what I'm doing. Trust my horse too much. So we're getting the shape a little bit figured out in there. That's good. Let's let her have her foot back. Move the camera way over. Look at, she shuffled all the way to the other side of the shelter again. Move over. Move, 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 move. Come on. Good girl. That's good. Apples for you. Alright, moving on. This is probably one of the reasons why I never do these live streams like this. It's such a pain. But I thought, well, I haven't put up a video in a little while. People probably think I'm dead. Okay, we're going to clean up the frog a bit. Ugh. Like that. And then there's just a little bit in here that can pop out. Now, don't indiscriminately trim up frogs. You know, hey, knock it off. Actually, I'm going to use my nippers here. Holy smoke, she's really left the frame. So we'll just, this stuff at the back can get really hard, and can be a bit like having a really big callus on the bottom of your foot. Sort of want to help them out a bit, wear it off a little. And the thing about the frog when you're trimming is you want to consider what the inside of the hoof looks like. And it looks a lot like what I'm trimming to. There we go. And you can see it's looking much better than when we started. Now Lena's being a big turd today, so we have to push her back again. This is very common. You're a pain in the butt. Come on back. I know. Move over. Move, move, move. No, not your front, just your back. That's good. Maybe one more step. Just one. Oh, not on my tools. Oh, that was close. Too big of a step. Let's push her back the other way. Come over. And don't hit the camera on the way back. Stay. Oh, good girl. Yay. Alright then, let's get on with this trim business. So, trimmed up the frog and the bars pretty good. Good enough to start on the walls with my brand new rasp. Okay, so that's pretty good looking. She's got good feet. They're solid and stuff. So, I'm going to use my new rasp. And I'm just going to start on the heels. Now, heel length is a big deal. You can really wreck a horse by bringing their heels down too far. Oof. You hear that sound? That's the sound of my rasp going dull extra fast. So it's the sound of material that's stuck in what's called the white line. There, something like that. So we're just going to clean that out with a dull pick. Like that. Okay, so I got one heel down. I want to match it on the other side, like so. We can come down a little ways on this one. She's got some big heels. Something like that. Now I'm going to just give her something that she's going to land on that's balanced before I put her foot back down. We're getting there. Give her a second. These flies are incessant, man. Fly spray. Okay, let's continue on. See, you can already see just from what I've done. I don't know if you guys can see. Let's see. I have to look at the screen funny. But it's already getting rounder. And I haven't even touched the top of the hoof. Which is why I tend to recommend a lot to learn how to trim a hoof only from the bottom. When you rasp the outer wall, you end up weakening the outer wall, reducing the protection. You done? You good? Good girl. Reducing the protection for the inside. So many times I go out to, I don't know, take a shoe off or something like that. Somebody wants to take shoes off, and you look at the foot, and the wall is half the thickness, about an inch or two up. It's nuts, man. Crazy stuff. Okay, let's get on with this. So you can see her hoof is already starting to get a little better just from what we're doing. Come on, Lena. Good girl. All right, let's keep going. So now we're just sculpting. Now we're just sculpting and shaping and all kinds of good stuff. Let's get that a little centered there. Something like that, okay? You might say, well, what are you sculpting and shaping to? And I'd say the sole. We're going to get a nice balance in here and provide a little bit of a roll to the outside with a bevel sort of thing all the way around, heels included. And right where she's wearing naturally, I'm going to leave that for the very end because I want the rest of it to match that. You see? Like that. All right. Continue to bevel from the bottom side. Like so. This rasp is fantastic, by the way. Great rasp. Thank you, Farrier Shop, for encouraging me to try it out. Okay, so now we have some nice symmetry on both sides. Looks nice and round. Now I'm going to take my fine side, so not the rough side that I'm working on, the fine side, and just, well, I better put her foot down before she knocks the camera over. Ready? Give him a, 10 seconds or so. Come on. Good girl. All right. Oop. There. Now I'm going to just take this fine side and just come around and continue to work on that. Getting rid of the wear point has allowed me to see the shape just a little bit better. And now I'll just come around like that. Oh, you guys probably can't see anymore because she keeps moving. Hey, leave me with your foot, please. We're almost done. We're almost done, by the way. There, something like that. And then from the bottom, that looks pretty darn good, in my opinion. Okay, so we'll put the foot down and we'll see again from the top. I think this is such a pain in the butt. I'm only going to do one foot for you guys. So hang on. So we can see from the top now how... Why do these flies still come around? Oh, the fly spray doesn't work? Somebody tell me now. We can see how symmetrical and roundy round it is compared to, say, this one. See? So there you go. And if you're curious what it looks like from the side, I could probably do something like this. So no flare, tiny little gap underneath here, sort of thing. Yeah, hopefully that makes sense. Okay, questions, because I think I'm only going to do one foot today. Scratch. All right, do you ever use a hoof stand to do the hooves? I used to, I never do now. They're a pain in the butt. It irritates me. I have a much easier time, and I'll show you if I can do this. Hang on a second. Do. Okay, switching cameras with my elbow so I don't take my boots off or sock my gloves off. So I don't use a hoof stand because I find it a pain. The hoof stand over here, my horses aren't, they're not, so then it's like, whether do you tie them up, do you put them in cross ties, blah blah blah, so they can't move around? Is that a better way to, I don't know. Personally, I like it when they can move around. I think that they feel a little bit better, less confined. They can move their head if they need to look at things. So a hoof stand for me is a pain because I have to move it, and sometimes they don't put their foot on there properly, and sometimes it falls over, and then half the time it's just in the way. Hey, can I have your foot, please? So a lot of the work that is done is in my legs anyways. You see, so I'll be like this, and I'll just rest them like this, and you know, sometimes you can bring it right in and kind of just do that, and you rest it there. But a lot of the work is done in my legs anyway, so I don't really get a lot of back pain unless I have to sort of fight with a horse a bit. And then for the front, here, let's come around this way. For the front, come here. If I did need to sort of trim the front a little, then I rest my elbows on my knees, and I'm just doing a teddy bear stand, if you guys know what that is, but standing up. And it's a really strong posture. I can hold probably about 300 pounds or something like that. A horse will put a bit of weight in me and I can hold it up just fine. Not tiring. So I don't use a hoof stand. So that's that. Some people need them. That's fine. To each his own. Okay. More questions. So without watching me stare at the screen while I search for questions, you guys can stare at Lena. Okay. Let's see. Is it easier to trim on a light colored hoof? Nope, not really. I mean, the light colored hoofs show more of the bruising that naturally occurs and commonly occurs in horses. You'll see it more, but you can still see it in the dark colored hoofs because the dark color is only half the hoof thickness. So I don't know if I find it any easier. The hoof isn't any softer or any of that stuff. In fact, sometimes it's harder to trim a lighter colored one depending on if you're trying to find the sole. It's no, I wouldn't say it's any. It's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Hey Ida. Hello Helen from Sweden. Let's see, any more questions? David, you're here. Hey buddy. Hope you had fun yesterday. I wish I understood Spanish better, but I cannot. Hello, Shelly. Maureen. Okay, so I think I've gone through all the questions because I got to the one that says, what's that snapping sound? How often do you take care of Lena's feet? Helen, good question. How often do I trim hooves? Ideally, I would trim. There, I've taken my glove off now, so I will join Lena. Ideally, I would trim every few weeks. It's a little fuzzy. Ideally, I would trim every 3 weeks or so, and it doesn't really depend on the time of year. We get pretty wet weather, and things are soft, so there's not as much wear as say the summer would bring, but the summer still brings other things. The hooves grow same speed. I've never ever come to a horse at 3 to 4 weeks and thought, well, don't need to trim this thing. So I don't understand yet or I haven't seen an example yet of how a horse with healthy feet has grown too much hoof, um, or has not grown enough hoof. They always grow too much. So I'm here at 4 weeks, and the trim wasn't very long, thank goodness. Sometimes I'm a little later, then it's real pain, but a brand new rasp really helps. And so if I go too long, it can everything starts to fall off. The bars start to lay over. The frog gets a little bit too big and spongy, or uh, they don't seem to wear it off enough, even if they're on this gravel and on the sand and on rocks and stuff like that. So, and then the walls will start to chip or flare or crack. Anything beyond 4 weeks, I think, becomes pretty iffy. I like 3 weeks. And on a horse that is recovering from some massive flares or some problems, something like that, I'll probably get in there every week and a half to 2 weeks. You have to give them time to compress the material as well. So constant trimming can sometimes be too much. But every couple of weeks, for sure, get the toe off so it doesn't keep flaring outwards. Fix the bars a little bit. So if everything's been jammed up for a really long time, you'll trim it, and within between hours and days, things will start to relax, and you'll need to come in and just sort of fix things a bit more. So yeah, my ideal is every few weeks. If that helps you guys at all. Ida, repeating a question from earlier. Do you ever use a standard trimming? Didn't I just answer that? I just answered that. I'm sure of it. No, I don't. Not anymore. And the reason is they're a pain, they get in the way, and they don't really suit my needs. Some people do. Is there a time when you recommend shoes? Nope, I'd never recommend shoes, ever. I recommend boots. So if you're wondering if I recommend hoof protection, yes. Yes, I recommend hoof protection. Lots. I recommend boots all the time. You guys saw Gracie with her boots on. And sometimes I'll boot for trails. But I don't recommend shoes, ever. The main reason I don't like shoes is because they're nailed on. You can get composite shoes, ones that you can glue on, and so that can be okay for sure. The nail holes are my biggest problem with shoes. The hammering on, the nail holes, the rusting, the rot, are just, the main things that really, really worry me about shoeing a horse. I mean, after that, it's a whole other topic if you want to talk about trim and what's a good trim for a shoe and stuff. But the hoof doesn't match the shape of metal shoes. They just don't. You can look up a guy named David Landreville maybe. He's on Facebook and he puts out tons of pictures, tons of stuff, which is really information, very, very good stuff. And he shows how the proper shape of a hoof has got this, I mean, I'm exaggerating it, but it's got that shape to it, back to front. Well, you can't match metal to that. And if you did, it would be weird. It would just straighten itself back out somehow and it would drag the foot out. And so shoes don't allow the horse's foot to also do this, which it does. I'm trying to find a high-speed camera that I can show you guys, because you can see it with your eye if you're looking close enough. It's hard, but you can see the expansion and contraction of the hoof where it does this on landing. And so shoes don't let that happen. I'd say even hoof boots don't really let that happen as well as it could, because they have to be tight. So I think sometimes wearing boots are a lot like wearing ballerina shoes for people. Or if you've ever done rock climbing and wear rock climbing shoes, I rock climb with my daughter, and I hate those shoes, but they're way better for rock climbing than a runner or something, so you put up with it for the time. But then you take it off. You can't do that with a shoe either. If you remove a shoe that's been nailed on, you're going to have nail holes for the next probably 2 months, maybe 3, depending on how high up they went. And if you tried to put another shoe back on, you're going to make more holes. Pretty soon it's just Swiss cheese. So to me, that doesn't make a lot of sense. The science doesn't match up. So if anybody can convince me something different, I'm willing to listen to it. Trust me. Just haven't seen it. Oh, it's Portuguese. How's Gracie doing? She's great. Took her boots off. She's doing wonderful. You ran the comment through the... So, Ida and Carrie, there are your answers. Thanks, Scratch. Love the thumbs ups. You guys are great. Didn't make sense. Oh well. Is it Portuguese? I've heard of some new hoof boot systems here in Germany that were introduced to a sponsored German Mustang makeover. Moving pictures. There are plenty of hoof boots out there. What time we got? Because I got things to do, but I definitely want to try to answer as many questions as possible. There are a lot of different hoof boots out there. It's 10:30. Wow. Okay. So we got a few more minutes and then I'm going to head off. I like easy boots myself. There's Cavellos, there's Renegades, there's Scoop boots, there's a couple others. Those are the main ones. I like easy boots myself because I've used them for so long, and I like the way they fit. I tried Renegades. I didn't really like them. I definitely don't like Cavellos. They're too clunky. They're like clogs. They're just uncomfortable. They don't look good. But teach his own, like I said. Let's see. Regarding hoof boots, trainer Emma Massengale uses hoof boots with her Connemara tribe all the time, and IRC has made a special video concerning hoof boots. I don't know who IRC is. Oh, I know. It's those the people that concentrate on laminitis, right? I think. Could be wrong. No, that's the ERC. Bunch of acronyms. I don't know. Good. Hoof boot videos should be more out there. It should be more out there than shoe videos now. We are in a we have an evolved technology, and we should be using it. Anyhow, I'm going to get on with Lena's other trim. I mean, I can show you guys what I do without talking. I guess I'll just leave it on. I'm going to trim the other foot, but I'm not going to go into detail. You've already seen me do it, so I just got to get it done. You guys can watch. Lena, be good. Let me see. So this foot is the same, really. It's just filled up with stuff. So I'm just scraping off as much as I can so that I don't dull my tools. Okay, again, we start with the bar. The bars, and the frog. If you come in late, I'm not doing anything different than what I did on the first hoof. So, nothing new here. It looks the same, it's acting the same. I'm doing the same, I'm just doing it faster. A little less trouble for Lena. When I hold her foot, I'm not gripping it here. I'm actually lifting my hand up with her to hold it. Lena, stop asking. Just wait. I heard you the first time. Good girl. Just wait, not done. Almost done. Maybe I'll show you guys what my first pass looks like. Wait. Oh yeah, I guess I should say what the other reason I don't use a hoof stand for is it disconnects me from the horse. It's like tying them up. You're just like, well, here I am disconnected from my horse, all having them tied up and not have to listen to me. Like sticking your kid in timeout. Hey, can you move forward a bit? Come here. Good girl. And I get to work on my groundwork a bit. All right, here, take a look. This is my first pass. Come on, Lena. And she's not heavy either way. I got one finger on here. So hoof stand not required. Okay. So first pass just cleans up the bars on the front. Second pass defines the sole and the length of trim. For this hoof. And again, I don't need to go down the live sole. I've got a good idea where it is based on the consistency of the stuff. See, look, there's no need for a hoof stand. For me. Personal preference. Should make a joke about being an old soul. Okay, this is just junk that's sort of, and I'm using my knife on the dull side to sort of drive that stuff out a bit better. Hang on, Lena, hang on. I hear you. Wait. Okay, big turd, there you go. Okay, a little more. I've probably dulled my knife a bit much here. Just gonna shave off this crud. That. Clean out the central sockets a bit. It's pretty good. Wait. Hey, can you please wait? Good girl. Up. Okay, you suck. Where are my nippers? Wait. I'm not done yet. But I will be in a minute. Here we go. Okay, let's put some tools away so we'll keep losing them. Let's trim the bottom. Come on, big girl. All right, for this one, I'll show you a different way to do it. Just kind of tuck things in like that. And then I put my toes inwards a bit. Essentially, I'm sort of trimming upside down. Hang on, Lena. Okay, my first pass is done. Give her a second. And ask for it back. You know, I actually don't want you going backwards. I need you forward. There you go. That'll do. Right there. Oh, pick it up. Good girl. Okay. So this is where I'm looking at balance, how the sole looks, how the bars look, and the outside. So I'll use my fine edge. And just start sculpting. Hang on, Lena. That's pretty good. And now you can see without take my stuff off. Switch the camera here. And you can see from the front again that we're back to being roundy round. Let's zoom in a bit. There. And there. Right. And then we'll come down low. It's not going to work. Maybe it'll work. Whoop. Maybe something like that. Yeah, something like that. And that's a trim for today for her feet. Okay. And that's about it. So I did both front feet for you guys. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully you enjoyed that. And I'm done for now. I gotta get on with the rest of my day. I'm gonna do her back feet a little later like I usually do. She's got work to do. She's going to be a busy girl. But her back feet actually aren't looking too bad. It's a little bit dirty. But the shape-wise, I'm actually not too unhappy with. Back feet usually do a little bit better than fronts. But you can see we don't really have, we have a tiny wear pattern in the front there, like right there. So there's a little cord there, a little bit there. But overall, we'll take a look at the other one. So evaluating a hoof, I did a couple of classes on this. Oh, Lena, that doesn't help us at all. Well, anyways. Same with the other back. Oh, there we go. So just a minor. Oh, Lena, you bashed the camera with your stifle. Isn't she beautiful? Look at this beautiful horse. Okay, well, where's Zeus picking up the trimmings? He better not be. He throws up. You break a toe if it falls on you. It's true. Turf cord was the name I was looking for. They finished their research in 2000 since then they can be bought. The clicking sound is electric line. It's got a slight snap too because it's not connected. I'll fix it later. It's been bugging me too. If I remember correctly. Oh, I see. Of course, it's an acronym for something that we say. Special video concerning hoof boots. Hoof boots are great. Uses Cavello a lot. It's fine. You know, to each his own, like I said, but I just prefer easy boots. Cavellos can definitely, they've got a lot of padding sometimes, and those can be quite useful, especially for bigger feet, I think. Yeah. Okay, so that's it for now. If you guys have any questions, stick them in the comments a little later. I'll try to get back to you if you don't happen to catch a live stream. Anyway, so her feet are just doing great. She's going to go to work soon with a 10-year-old kid. And we're going to have some fun in the arena. So, thanks for coming, guys. It's been interesting. And as soon as I get my software back online for video editing, I'll be back for videos. So sorry for the AWOL, away without leave-ness of things. It's just harder to edit in a different program that I can use, but I'm not that good at it yet. And it doesn't give me all the things that I want, like titles and stuff like that. So just waiting on that. So until then, it's live streams. Okay, Lena's feet, front feet are done. Back feet are okay. I'll probably clean them out and then send her off. Okay, that's it for now, guys. Thanks for watching. See you guys tomorrow or later, maybe. We'll see how the day goes. Bye for now.